Hello and welcome to the Build with Baer Workshop. My name's Baer. I'm here to build model kits and hang out with you. We had an issue there. I know what happened. I had, there is an echo. Yeah, there's probably going to be a bit of an echo in this room. Um, because there's not a lot of stuff in the room that I'm currently building in. If you've been here since Wednesday or Thursday when I streamed, I am currently in a bedroom that is pretty empty because I'm cleaning my old bedroom. So I'm currently in this room. So there is an echo. I have tried to put stuff in the room to kind of fill the room out to help with that. But that unfortunately is where I'm at as far as audio goes. So I apologize for that, but it basically there's no sound dampening here in the old in this room. So I apologize for that. Apologize for my for not being able to like give you the 100% thing. I've worked on it a little bit. We won't go to the building yet. This should be brighter. This should look bright. I've adjusted some stuff here. I brought in a lamp, so that should be brighter than it was on Thursday. But we'll get over from that. Also, by making this area brighter, it makes it look less like I'm in a void because, as you can see, behind me is just wall. There's just wall here. It's just the wall that has been that was painted several years ago. But yeah, I'm excited to hang out and build with y'all. Working on the Crossbone Gundam. We'll talk about that a bit. We did get it started on Thursday just a little bit because we finished up the Turn A, which is just a one of the weirdest kits I've built in a while. This kit is also from the mid-2000s. This is a 2006 kit, but it is a kit based on an earlier version of this kit. This is the Verka. One of the things that stands out about this is that you can put the skull and crossbones on the chest, or you can choose not to. I don't know why you would choose the opposite. It is known as the Crossbone because of its skull and crossbones. Also, it has an X on the back of it. We'll do a retweet here, see if anybody else wants to join us, and then we'll get going. See if we can get a few more folks to come hang out with us. But you can see the crossbone there. There is the X there. That is part of the cockpit or the core lander that comes into the back of the kit, pops in the back here, and then goes out there. And those are all thrusters because when you're in Jupiter, lore reasons, yeah, Lashbrook, when you're in Jupiter, you got to have a good boost of your thrusters coming out of the back of it. So that's the solution there. So yeah, you can see I played around with the exposure here on my this webcam to try to make this area brighter because I'm not using my green screen lights. One of the benefits of having those kind of lights for the green screen was that I was able to like also light my face and light the table. So now I'm playing around with that. I hope it's okay. It also, this is one of the things like it's hard to play around with because it doesn't get dark these days here in New York until almost time for me to stream. So I can only do so much. Speaking of a good boost of thrusters, you see the F90 mission packs they announced. Yes, all of those booster things are very cool looking. Hey, here's a sneak preview, y'all. On Monday, the stream is going to start with me pre-ordering a model kit. I've only done that once before. We did that for the Death Scythe because we built Death Scythes on the stream. Here's the deal. The Endless Waltz, Gundam Wing Endless Waltz, Ultron, the Nautico, they're doing a master grade of that. I've only built the high grade because the master grade is so expensive that I'm never going to build that version. So actually I want to make sure that I don't have that on those. So I went ahead and I'm going to pre-order that on Monday, and I'll do it on stream because pre-orders go into effect Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern. So Yeah, the Ultron Gundam, the premium one right now is $200. So we'll get rid of that so no one accidentally buys that because I don't want them to buy that. Please do not spend $200 on my wish list. It's just there, and maybe it will go down in price, but I bet it won't. I found out somebody bought something off my wish list. Don't know what it was. I'm gonna look to see. Somebody bought something off my Amazon wish list, and I will be building that. That went to South Carolina, so that's an important thing to say. We're gonna get to building in just a moment. If you buy something off my wish list, um, uh, I will build it, and I will be grateful that you purchased it. But I will, it will not come here because I don't want you to come here after I've moved, because that would be awful. So instead, it will go to, it's already going to South Carolina, and it'll just be there when I get there. Which is also nice because it means that like I'm budgeting how many kits I have till I go. Let's get to building. I'm budgeting how many kits I have until it's time for me to head out. And then the idea is that I will then have a good amount because shipping will take longer probably just locally because there won't be an Amazon warehouse just conveniently near where I'm staying. But yeah. All right, so we'll get that going here. That's there. And then we snap this on there. How's everybody doing tonight? Let me know in the in chat how y'all are feeling. How you're holding up. As I said, we did get some of this done on Thursday stream, and now we're going to get into the head portion. Another idea to put a skull on here, and we will have some stickers to put together too, just fine. But yeah. I will be buying a model kit on stream on Monday from the Bandai store because I want to build that thing. I can't spend too much money on kits, but I can pick up that pre-order and just have it sent to my folks' place. I also don't want to buy too many things that are like, because it's like going to come out in November or December or something like that, and like. I don't know, like, I'll send it to my folks' place, but, like, I hope that in December I will be living back in New York. I don't know. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do about that. I have some pre-ordered stuff that I get that, like, is coming in September, so I don't know. Like, I guess, by default, I think sending to my parents' place just makes the most logical sense. And then if I've moved back to New York or somewhere else, they'll get it, and then they can just, stick a different label on it and mail it to me, and I'll pay them back. Like, that makes the most sense to me. I don't want to be like, not get something cool just because I don't know where I'm going to be in a couple months. Mr. Bob is here. Hi, Mr. Bob. I'm building one of those 20-year Lego Star Wars anniversary kits. It's been over 20 years of Lego Star Wars kits. Mr. Bob, that sounds awesome. Obviously, you don't have to, but if you'd like, when you're ready, post some photos on the Discord, because I would love to see them. Of course, you are under no obligation to do so, but if you would like to, please do. And that goes for everybody with anything you're working on. If you ever work on something that you're like, oh, this is pretty nice, and you like want to have a few people go, ooh, like, jump into Discord. That's what it's there for. 18, all right, yeah, that's right. All right, so we'll get that going there. But yeah, wow, that sounds neat. Looks like we're gonna have a light night tonight as far as stream crowd goes. That's okay. I'm not feeling terrible about that. As long as people are here and want to hang out, that's fine by me. I'd much rather have some fine folks here in chat. But we don't need to have the biggest crowd in the world. But as long as people are enjoying themselves and having fun. Dr. Jones just tiered 10. Thank you so much, Dr. Jones. Let me get the old applause there on the soundboard. Let's throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, and the Scythe emote in the chat. Thank Dr. Jones for that. A reminder, folks, bits and coins always appreciated. If you happen to want to throw in 300 bits and coins, you unlock some emotes for people because it is we're celebrating Pride here on Twitch. So you can show your pride. But you are under no obligation to do that, of course, as always. The Anakin's Pod Racer, which all happens to come with Luke in his flight suit. Ooh, okay, so that's what you're working on. Neat. Well, that's cool. All right, let me get this going here. Gotta trim this a little. Put that there. This goes into this, which goes into this. And we've got stickers to put on. We got stickers to put on. We got to put on eye stickers. Check out this sweet Pride lion that I got. It's been just as fun. Oh yeah, that's the rule. Oh no, my mouse. Oh no, my mouse. Let me grab my mouse here. My mouse fell off the table, y'all. What Pride ones do I got going on here? I got this and this right now. These are pretty cool. Yeah, there's some good ones out there. The top of my mouse popped off and I have to go find that later. But it doesn't matter for right now because we're just going to do some stickers. Let's put some stickers on there. We got to put some eye stickers on and some back of the head stickers. So, folks asked, I got a couple people being like, I don't know what this is. What kit is this? So this is the Crossbone X1. In continuity is after F90. It is the ones designed after F90. And the basic idea of this thing is that it's from manga. Does not appear in anime. There's a reference to it. It is on a shelf, I believe. I don't know if it's unplayable. Maybe someone's played it, but I know that at the very least, it's been on a shelf in Build Fighters. Perhaps also maybe Mr. Bob knows. I think maybe somebody's piloted it in some form of thing, but for the most part, it's just been in games and it's been in the various in a manga. And it has not appeared in a show because there has not been a Crossbone show. But it's a very popular kit because it looks neat as hell. And people are like, I like this kit. It has been the top requested mobile suit like a couple of years running to appear in a show. The Crossbone Gundam has sadly never had an official show appearance. Okay, so it's only been on the shelf as a model kit. Okay, so I thought it might have shown up in there, but I knew that it was referenced as like an Easter egg for the fans. And guess what? The fans were like, yes. We are interested in this. We like this. More of this, please. So yeah, it's got its fans. It's a cool kit. I have built the Crossbone Gundam before in SD form. There is a real grade apparently. It's got a lot of tiny pieces apparently. This is what I hear, and it's got a super deformed, the SD version of it, and I built that on a Waypoint charity stream. Or no, I didn't build that. That's right. I built that somewhere else. I got the new SD form of this. Yeah, yeah. It's a fine kit. It's a fine little suit. I like the design a lot. I mean, it's got a skull and crossbones on it. Like, why wouldn't I be interested in this kit, right? Like, what, am I not going to be super into this? What do you think I am? Okay, this mouthpiece doesn't like to sit on. And then we need number. Some of these stickers are tiny because they are stickers for the head. Also, as I said, this is a 2006 kit. and kits of this era are not my favorites. Um, I'll tell you this: the kit we're building next, because I'm making the call about what we build next. Normally, I'll leave it up to my $10 patrons, but um, because I'm going to be traveling. Basically, on the first, I move into an Airbnb, and on the fifth, I fly to South Carolina. So I have a master grade in a big box with a bunch of pieces that I'd like to finish. I'd like to finish up all my master grades before I get out of here, and just travel with some high grades out of the box, because I think that'll just be that'll be I know it will be way easier to travel with. So the next kit we're going to be working on is the EZ8, which came out in 2000, the year 2000. And so it is one of our older kits that we're working on. Um, it's that era where they came with, like, when you open up the box, like there's a little extra piece of cardboard with the same art that you could put like behind to the kit if you were displaying it with it, which is pretty neat. It's that era of kit, but that's what we're going to work on next because it just makes the most sense to do that next. Um, because some of the other kits can like fit in a Ziploc bag, so I don't have trouble with the box and keep things separated. And having a Lego set for one of the 2 streams I'm doing that I'd like to do on the road, like it just makes more sense. Um, Speaking of that, so as I said, my goal is on July 2nd and July 4th. My goal is to stream, but I won't know if that's possible till I get into the Airbnb. So on the 1st, I will do a test, and then I will know if I can stream the next day or not, because I will do a proper streaming test. Um, but one of the things I will know is um, uh, it'll have to be earlier than normal, and I apologize for that, especially for my West Coast fam. I understand that me starting at 9 p.m. is already Eastern time is already early for a lot of y'all, and I do apologize for that. But the place I'm planning on staying at, or I am staying at, has quiet hours starting at 10 p.m. Eastern. And while I don't think I would make a lot of noise, I am continuously talking when I stream, and I don't want to have any issues because right now is not the best time to like suddenly be like, well, fine, I'll find another Airbnb. Like I don't have the luxury of that. So the plan of attack is to stream like if I can stream from the Airbnbs, which I might not be able to. I'm not sure. I won't know. My plan is to stream like 8 to 10 and just like pop out a little early. But I don't know. I won't know until I get there. Oh, Mr. Rob says those new SD kits are hot. The entire skeleton thing is kind of weird. I agree. I do like that they seem to rely less on stickers because Super Deformed kits always just rely, I think, too much uh, on on sticker work. So I appreciate the newer ones do less of that. Uh, that is cool. All right, so we put this on this, and then this goes on like this. All right. Cool. We're getting the head done here. Now we can build more stuff on the head. Um, but yeah, so uh, tonight's stream as normal, Monday stream as normal, uh, Thursday stream as normal. Originally, next Saturday, I was going to have to do a different time. That has changed, and now I will be doing an earlier afternoon thing. So I will be able to stream at night, but I originally said that I was going to be streaming in the evening um, a week from this Saturday, or after the afternoon, because I had an evening thing. Basically, my birthday is on Tuesday, and my cousin is throwing me a birthday party next Saturday via Zoom with like relatives. And originally they were going to do later in the day or the evening. They were going to do like 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. So I was like, well, I won't stream then. But now we're going to do the afternoon because more folks are available in the afternoon. Which means that I can stream at my normal time, which I would prefer, especially if on the 2nd and 4th, I'm going to have to stream at weird times. Now, when I get down to South Carolina, streaming will continue as normal. Um, right off the bat, I will be able to do 9 p.m. That'll be fine. Uh, it won't disturb anybody. I can do stuff out of my room that I'm staying in. That will be fine. That will not be an issue. I'll be able to stream when I'd like. I am actively looking for work when I get down there, and that's the thing that will change things. If I'm working online for something and can't do 9 to 11, that will certainly change things around. If I do, if I get a job where I have to go into a place, that'll change. But that was always the case, right? I'm dedicated to continuing to stream 3 times a week with model kit building. I would love to keep doing 1 bonus stream a week. That will be difficult. That could be difficult, but I am encouraged to attempt to continue that. Speaking of bonus streams, my next bonus stream is going to be on a Tuesday because June 23rd, which is a Tuesday, is my 40th birthday, and I'm throwing myself a birthday stream. I'm going to be playing Jackbox games. There will be room for chat participation as always, but I'm also reaching out to some friends to see if they want to jump in. I can say right now, confirmed guests are 404-ing legend Felix Kramer and one of the only people that ever do Pat Bear's Anime Club guest, Coriander Dickinson from Loading Ready Run. Is also going to be there. And then a possible appearance late in the stream from one Casey Malone, who is on the West Coast and might not come till late. Now, they're not going to be on camera. The idea is that I will have a Discord channel for some of my friends to be able to join, and they will be able to see my stream on that, and then they can jump in and be on voice and hang out, and then there will be room for people to join as well. But that way we can play things like Patently Stupid, right? We can play that game, and they can jump in on their voice. We can do Joke Boat, that kind of stuff. And then, we'll open it up to some chat. People jump in for like Quiplash and fill out the room. I have invited more folks. I do not know how many of them will be able to do it. I don't, timing-wise, schedule-wise. I had a few people that are like, I can't do Tuesdays, which I understand. Or I had at least one friend who will remain nameless, because of course they will, who was just like, I'm trying not to be on the streams or the internet right now. I'm trying to lay low. And I get that. But that's going to be Tuesday at 8 p.m. until 11 p.m. We're going to try to do a 3-hour stream of Jackbox games and shenanigans and good times. So I hope you can come to that and watch that. And then one of the reasons, because I thought, we got a new follower. Thank you very much, Athom. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Welcome to the Build with Baer workshop. Working on the Crossbone Master Grade. This is the X1. Working on the head right now of that. And I was thinking about maybe doing a stream on Wednesday for my birthday instead of Tuesday, my actual birthday, because I often do bonus streams on Wednesday. But, love you, Pat, though I've been following already, but obviously not. Yeah, no problem. Welcome. Yeah, I mean, some people just click on the link on my Twitter, like they don't hit the follow button, or they just assume they are. But yeah, well, welcome. So the thing that I'm doing on Wednesday is I'm going to be on another Games Done Quick, the Gauntlet. You may remember a few months ago, weeks ago, whatever it was, I competed in some random games as part of the Gauntlet, which is a competition thing with streamers and friends of streamers. I'm in the losers bracket because I lost spectacularly, but I'm going to be back on Wednesday, and I don't know exactly when that's going to start. We're still figuring that out, but I will be on the Gauntlet. I don't know when I'm going to be competing on that. I think the stream starts at 7, but I don't know what grouping I'm in. but I'm going to do another round of poorly playing games for people's entertainment. Uh, so I didn't know there was a losers bracket until the night I played the first round. I went, oh, well, I guess I will be done here. I guess I will. I have the opportunity to lose later. Uh, this pod racer has too many stickers, says Mr. Bob. Yep. Yeah. Sometimes the Lego sets go a little sticker mad because stickers are easier to produce custom than parts. All right, so we finished our head here. We got our double skull and crossbones Gundam here. Ooh, this might be too bright. This aperture might be too much, but the alternative I did not enjoy. I'm playing around here, folks. I'm figuring things out as I go. Uh, if you're not aware, I am still in New York as of right now, but this is the bedroom that my roommate used to live in. And I'm currently like cleaning and throwing things away and trying to like reduce the mess and prep my other bedroom. That I also was. My bedroom is where I streamed from, but I was like, oh, if I move stuff out of there, it'll be easier to clean up in there, which it definitely has been. I'll put that up here so you can see that as we build. So it's been nice to like get out of there and work somewhere else. The downside being, of course, is that I have to like get a new setup going, and I didn't want to like put up my black curtains because I was like I can put those away. I won't be probably putting them up wherever I end up anyway. So working on the borders, that's been good, and then I'm just playing around with the natural light in the room. The bedroom that I will be in South Carolina has some good lighting in it because I streamed from there around Christmas time, and that went well, and that's a good thing because the last time I did a stream from there, I did it out of the family room, but that meant my dad had to like leave his chair and go and watch TV in the bedroom, and I took over the space, and I didn't really like taking over the space. And now I can like stream when I want to stream. I'll just like, I literally was like, I'll just put a thing on the door that says I'm streaming. And my mom was like, my mom said a thing that I thought was really funny, and I'm not probably gonna do, but I really liked. She was like, well, you sometimes make things that aren't model kits, right? So what if you made an on-air sign that you could just put on the door when you're streaming? And I was like, that's very cute. My parents do have printers, so I could print stuff and like I could like design a an on-air sign and like make it and then print it out and then do that. So I was like, that's very cute. Because she knows like, we've done a few projects here and there. So I was like, well, it's not the worst idea, y'all. I definitely could do that. I think that would be pretty fun. So I'm not here to say that I'm definitely going to do that, but I am here to say that that's not a bad idea. The idea of a, that kind of thing. So yeah, so that's the plan when I get to South Carolina is like rearrange the room. There, I do have the benefit of there being a folding table that my folks have that I can set up. I am gonna have to figure out how to like. The last time I did that, I had my. The last time I did that, I had what do you call it? Sorry. Oh, I was using my laptop, so now I'm like, oh, okay. I have to figure out how to get that table to work with my desktop. I think I'll figure it all out. I'm probably just gonna have to like move some furniture around in my parents' guest room. Also, I'm probably gonna take down the weird art that's in there. My mom bought some weird art that is, it's like, it's interesting. It's First Nations. If that First Nations those First Nations artists really like motorcycles, like it's Harley. The art in there is very like First Nations Harley owners. Does that make sense? You know, like it's weird. The art in that room is very strange. It's also yellow walls, and that'll be fine. But I'm like gonna, I'm not gonna go overboard with it. I'm not gonna like buy things to make the streaming experience like unnecessarily purchase things just for that. Um, the goal is to just make use of what I have and make it work. Uh, but I will be bringing my desktop down there because I am sure that if I took this desktop and put it in storage, one, I do not want my desktop to be stolen because it is a good computer. It's a little old, but for what I'm using, it's great. And two, I know that my laptop, like the idea of, I'm going to have my laptop here basically on the 25th. I'm mailing my computer to my folks. So from the 25th until the 5th, I'm relying on my laptop, and I am nervous. Like one of my goals is to try to run my daily stuff off of my off of my iPad, um, and try not to use my laptop like for day to day, like for videos and stuff. Just like run Crunchyroll videos on my iPad, and just baby it because the idea of needing it, um, uh, is just terrifying. Like relying on it, I should say. Y'all are a little quiet in chat today. That's okay. No need to talk if you don't feel like talking. But if there's anything going on you want to chat about, feel free. I had a Zoom hangout with some friends tonight that went very well. That was I unfortunately left them in order to come here and stream because that started at 8 p.m. I would have liked that to have started a little earlier so I could have hung out longer, but that's okay. Um, I was happy to chat with my friends and have that. Sorry, I was busy with something. Harold, no need to apologize. You don't have to apologize at all, friend. I know that there are folks of y'all out there who just like to listen, and while you do other things, that's cool. And there are folks that like to, have it on a device and go about their business. They're not chatters. That's not their biz. Totally okay. Does not seem right. This was. This is I. Okay. Yep. These are the wrong parts. See, I got all discombobulated. Pulled the wrong parts. It's okay. This is what I wanted. That's okay. It happens. But yeah, I'm trying to get settled into stuff going on in this room. My plan for tomorrow is I'm going to go vote early. I put in for an absentee ballot, and apparently, this is fun. What I put in for absentee wasn't for the primary, even though I did want an absentee ballot for the primary. Apparently, I'm getting an absentee ballot for the general election, and I'll have to transfer that because I still want to vote in New York, even though I won't be here in New York. I still want to vote in the New York election because I want to vote locally because I'd like to come back to this neighborhood. But so I'd rather go to the one place that's kind of near me that does absentee tomorrow rather than go on Tuesday to vote. So I'm going to go tomorrow to a place because I think that'll probably be like less lines, even though it's a Sunday. My thought is that most people don't think about early voting. Either they were absenteeing or they're just going to go and vote on Tuesday. So my hope is that I can avoid crowds and vote safely. Put the mask on, do the whole thing. If you hear any loud noises while I'm streaming, people have been setting off fireworks since yesterday. They were doing it earlier in the week, but yesterday there were a lot of fireworks. Last night there was fireworks so close to where I am that I could smell the gunpowder, which is very close, and I did not enjoy that. I'm just jumpy right now, you know, like a person would be. And so that is not what I'm looking for, is loud noises. There. There. And do the same thing here. All right, so we're just working on the arm stuff here that we can do at the same time, the ones that are identical, because this is a symmetrical kit for the most part. So we'll, we take advantage of that sometimes. We'll just do one parts we need to build together here. But yeah, I'm going to try to vote tomorrow. I'm going to vote. I'm going to get lunch to go. We'll come back here, have lunch, hang out. 3 p.m. Eastern will be the lovely desert island. The Kathleen's Island tour. So excited about that because that's a very fun stream. I'm going to go give myself a retweet here. See if anybody else wants to come in. If this is a chill night, it's a chill night. But I like having people here. I like hanging out. I'm just going to come hang out. That's okay. I understand that there's a lot going on and people got things they're doing. And, I don't want to be like, it sucks that, like, big name people are doing live streams. Like, last night I watched, like, a stream that Paul F. Tompkins was on. And, like, it's hard to be like, hey, come check my thing out. Like, I don't want to get discouraged with people, especially because a lot of these things are for charity. And so, like, that rules. Or it's people who are like, I am doing this because I want to, make a little bit of money because the job I'm in is a rough one and it's hard to get, to do things. And I understand that. I'm trying to be positive about those things. But, I also like it when people watch the streams I do. It's nice. Like, I'm not going to pretend I don't enjoy having people watch my streams. So thank you for being here, everybody that's hanging out. I appreciate that very much. This is a this is a weirder kit, but it's not a weirdo kit. So I understand that it's not like the strangest thing I've ever built. The Easy 8 is the next kit we're building, and I am interested. I am pretty excited about that. I mean, I like this kit a lot. I'm happy to build it, but I am genuinely curious about that kit because it is a kit that was made in the year 2000, and also, which is they're done an Easy 8, and that's just a weird. That was when I realized that I was like, oh yeah, I've never built one of these, huh? And I also don't think I built this in the pre-streaming days when I would build kits a long time ago. I just don't think I ever got to this kit. So I'm excited about that. I-15 and I-15. 15. Cool. Yeah, let me know how you're all doing tonight. As I said, chat is pretty laid back tonight, and that's okay. But if y'all got anything going on, you can let me know. I filmed a bunch of stuff today, which was good. Because my goal is to not have to worry about that stuff for a bit. So I filmed a bunch of Baering the Lists. I got a bunch of those done. And I filmed the next two Pat Bear's Anime Club. The next episode goes out on Monday, so tomorrow for $5 and $10 patrons. And then I got the one next. So I did my favorite shows from this season. And shows that I hope come back because we didn't get to see all of them. And then the next video after that is my preview for summer 2020. Kind of the like, this looks legit cool. And then I also have like, I don't know, this might be trash, but it looks like it's good trash. I overslept, went into work, and then got home and tried to play some stuff on my Mister, but instead I did some more sleeping. Hey, Lashbrook, I ain't got no problem with sleeping. That sounds like, hey, it sounds like you needed some sleep. And I'm glad you got it, my friend. It sounds like you needed it. Uh, but um, but yeah, I hope you get some time to play with your mister, because that's a fun, cool thing. All right, so it's gonna go like this. We're building the arms here, and I just want to make, yes, that bends like that. That makes sense. Got a little nub in here we can snip off. That makes sense. That's cool. Um, but yeah, I got a bunch of video stuff done, so I was very happy about that because that was a thing that I want to get ahead of. So now I'm ahead of that. Also, I want to take advantage of the very good upload speeds. Even wirelessly, my uploads are very quick, and that is good. So I wanted to like get that going, and then I just got trash stuff together, like odds and ends. I'm taking apart things to put out on the curb to make it easier to put it out on the curb, and uh, my street does trash pickup 3 times a week, which is awesome. So I've been trying to like get stuff together. Like tomorrow night, I gotta put out a bunch of stuff, um, but I'm trying not to overload it. Like tomorrow night, I'm putting out my former roommate's mattress that he abandoned here. I don't know why he didn't take it. I mean, I know why he didn't take it. I wish he had just fucking taken it. Um, so I'm gonna put that out, and then, but I don't want to put that out like the day I move out. I want to do it a little earlier in case they don't take it or something. It'll still be there, that kind of thing. D, where'd D go? This is D. Great. It's cool. It's weird being able to see Game Gear games in full color now that they're not washed out by a backlight. Ooh, Lashbrook. Yeah, that is kind of neat. Yeah. Uh, the Game Gear. Hey, I'm going to go on a limb here, folks. Now, please do not hold my feet to a fire on this one. The Game Gear is a good idea done poorly. See also the Nomad. The Nomad is a great idea. Wasn't a good thing, but it's a great idea. But yeah, I had a friend who had the Game Gear and the Game Gear like TV tuner. And also he had a Nomad because somebody had to have the Nomad. That always really made me laugh. Because it's just like, this thing just eats batteries. What are we doing here? But yeah, I mean, there's something fun about like, you know, getting those old games and getting them up and running. I've been using the RetroArch software to play classic stuff. But I don't have a good D-pad on anything. Like I have an Xbox One controller, the wire controller, and that's a decent D-pad, but it's not like incredible. Um, so it works fine for what I'm doing. It's not playing a lot of stuff classically. Uh, I almost bought a Nomad that popped in the retro game store last year. Oh wow, yeah. Yeah, the Nomad was a great idea, folks. Like folks, if you've ever seen a Nomad, it was a portable Genesis. Uh, and that's a great idea, right? It was Genesis games, that's right. I'm not making that up, right? It wasn't Master System, it was Genesis games you could do on the go. Anyway, it's a good idea. Even if it was Master System games, which I don't think it was. I think it was Genesis games. It's still a great idea. It's still a great bad idea. I'm always in favor of. You know me, folks. I like good bad ideas. Yeah, it's portable Genesis. That's right. Okay, great. We got a follower here, and then Harold, thank you very much. I just saw your email come through. That's awesome. Thank you very much for that. That will go towards something cool, and I will let you portable /work in quotation marks. Yes, that's cool. But yeah, Harold, thank you very much for that. Appreciate it. I will get something neat with that. It will most likely be the pre-order for something that I'm looking at on USA Gundam Store, because that's a good, using gift cards is a good way to get uh, um, things. That was just something you were busy with. Yeah, there you go, Harold. Now I know. Okay, that's neat. All right, so we need B15 and then C3. We are getting our arms together here, folks. We're getting some arm stuff together. Gotta do that. Gotta do that, and we're gonna get B15, two B15s. Um, I'll say this. Um, One of the benefits, y'all know this, right? One of the benefits of doing a lot of home cooking, which I've been doing, uh, you know, 6 to 7 nights a week since all this happened, is you control the amount of salt that is in things, even unless you're just buying reheated meals. And obviously, reheated from a takeout place or a place that's chosen to do takeout versus reheating like a frozen meal, like still salt, whatever. Um, I got Chinese food tonight because I've been wanting to eat some of my favorite stuff while I still could, and there's so much salt in me right now. It was just chicken and string beans with fried rice, but oh boy, I can just feel it. Like I feel bloated in a way that I have not felt in a while. So if I'm a little less energetic than normal, that's why. And as always, uh, I just don't have a lot going on like in my life, so I don't have like topics of discussion ready to go like I do sometimes. Sometimes I will have stuff that I want to chat about. Um, I'm trying to like things. I've been watching a lot of YouTube stuff. Defunct Land. I don't know. You know what it is. It's the YouTube series about failed like attractions and park rides and stuff like that. I've been watching a lot of those videos because I just got to them. I got to that part of the internet where they're there, and they want me to watch. There's one on the um, the Nickelodeon Hotel Resort that was a big failure, and that was an interesting viewing experience because I did not know that existed, and so it was kind of neat to be able to be like, oh, yeah, this seems bad. Way to go, everybody! Really goofed this one up. But yeah, it's I think those are engaging. They're interesting stories to watch. Like, why did this roller coaster just go away? Well, here's why. X, Y, and Z. A lot of people know it because that's how they first learned about Action Park. Because y'all didn't know about Action Park. Because why would you know about New Jersey's worst time? In a grand scheme of things, the fact that I don't know anyone who died at Action Park is incredible. I know a lot of people that got hurt at Action Park, and we only went once. So I grew up in Connecticut, right? So Connecticut, you can go to New Jersey for theme parks, or you can go to Boston or outside Boston, in Massachusetts to theme parks, right? So you've got your options, right? You can go to Six Flags Great Adventure, which is in New Jersey, or you can go to Riverside Park in Anaheim, Massachusetts, which eventually became Riverside. It became Six Flags Riverside, or Six Flags New England. That's right. It's Six Flags New England. They bought it because Six Flags bought them out. Or you could go to Action Park in New Jersey. I mean, you could also, if you wanted, you could go to Hershey, Pennsylvania, and go to that. But like, you only go to that once. I enjoyed the Johnny Knoxville movie about Action Park. Yeah, it's a very accurate movie, pretty much of the vibe of that place. But it was just dangerous. It was deadly. Like so many people got hurt and hospitalized. There would be like people would come just like, especially New Jersey kids would come to school after the summer and show off their scars. And it's, for some people it was badges of honor, but there was always somebody who was just like, yeah, the kid from my church group like broke his leg at Action Park. You'd be like, oh no, that sounds awful. Why do we keep going to this thing? But you went But like I said, I was lucky. I only went once, and my friend's mom who took us was like, the report she gave to the parents was, I don't like that place. And so the next time a bunch of kids were like, we want to go to a park, and some parent, it became their job to take us, that parent was like, we're going to Riverside. So we went to Riverside. The thing is, to get to like Anaheim, any place cool and or not even cool, but any place in Massachusetts, it always felt annoying because you did have to go through, you had to like drive through Rhode Island, then into Massachusetts. You had to get on the Mass Turnpike, which was annoying. So some people didn't like it; they prefer to go to New Jersey. But the other thing is that Six Flags Great Adventure is in a garbage part of New Jersey, like a really dangerous part. Like all the hotels that are around it, people don't go to New Jersey to stay in a hotel and then go to a park. It's a lot of day trips. There's a lot of people in the surrounding area. So none of the hotels that were near there were like nice or safe or good for like a bunch of young kids. So when I went, I remember it being like, yeah, I had a good time going to it. I didn't have a great time spending the night. Um, Ended up being okay. Um, Eventually, I don't think I've told this story. We'll take a pause to the cause in a moment or two, but I'll talk about the story a little bit here. Um, about my road trip that ended up in outside Anaheim, Massachusetts, where Riverside Park, Six Flags New England was. So, in between high school and college, I just took a road trip by myself, and I decided I was going to go. Took my cell phone, had a car, and I was just going to go up north. I had sold my car because I was going to be going to college in Albany. So I bought a very cheap car with the idea of, I'll drive, I'm going on this road trip, I'm going to end up somewhere, I'll sell my car when I get there, and then take a train back or something like that, or take a plane or whatever. Use some money, do whatever. Try not to spend much money when I get there, right? So um, I, I decide I'm going to drive north. I'm going to go up. I know some people in New Hampshire. I'll go hang out with them a little bit. It'll be fun. I'm going to take my time. So the car I bought got me to just outside Anaheim, Massachusetts, and then it died. Pulled over to the side of the road. Could not get the engine to turn over. I know some things about cars, not a lot. This thing is not going to happen. Get it towed. They're like, it's going to cost this amount of money to fix. I need to let you know that it does not take that long to get from Connecticut to Anaheim, Massachusetts. This is the first day of my road trip, and I'm done. So I'm like, well, I'm going to get a hotel room, and then I'm going to figure out, I guess I'll take a bus back to Connecticut. Because, like, I have months. And some money, but not a lot of money. It's 1999. I have a cell phone, but doesn't have, you can't leave voicemail on it. It only works if it's in service, like in the area, because it's a cheap, weird cell phone. So, like, call my folks, let them know, hey, I'm in Massachusetts, I'm hanging out. It's like, my dad asks, are you going to go to Six Flags? And I'm like, probably not. I'm probably just going to figure out how to get back and come back. And so that's kind of the plan, is like, I will eventually make my way back to Connecticut at some point, right? So I get a motel room, I should say. Get a motel room. I'm hanging out in this motel, and I check in. Somebody asks, "Oh, were you here? Are you here to go? Are you here for Six Flags? Where are people?" And I'm like, "No, I'm by myself. I'm doing a road trip." I say, like, my car broke down. I'm figuring out what I'm gonna do tomorrow. Oh, okay, cool. And I say, like, "Hey, is there any place to eat?" And the guy's like, walking? No. There's a cafe at the Barnes and Noble, and there's a Barnes and Noble across the street from the motel. But there's no food anywhere near anything. So I'm like, well, do I have to walk? Where am I going to go? 1999, my cell phone it's not a smartphone. I don't have maps. I have physical maps. So I'm like, I guess I'm just going to walk and get some food. So I'm like, well, I guess I'll go to the Barnes and Noble. And so I go to the Barnes and Noble, and I figure out what I'm going to eat and get some snacks or whatever. And I buy some manga because I need something to do. I'm going to need some reading material. So I buy some manga. I get my stuff, and the girl that rings me up is like, oh, hey, Dragon Ball Z. And I was like, yeah, I watched all of the anime, but I haven't really read the manga, so I'm buying the manga. And she's like, oh, I love Dragon Ball Z. I love Dragon Ball. I love Inuyasha. And I was just like, oh, this is fun. Okay, that's cool. And blah, blah, blah. I'm talking to her. And that was nice. I don't talk to strangers, so that was nice to have a little moment. And and then I'm like, all right, cool. Well, bye. And then she's like, points at the motel. It's like, oh, you stay in the motel? And I was like, yeah, I'm there. And she was like, oh, cool. I live there. My uncle owns the motel. And I was like, oh, cool. Great. Well, I'll see you around. And she goes, yeah. If you need anything tonight, just come by the front desk. That's where I hang out. And I was like, okay. So I went by the front desk because there was a girl that was hey, I'm going to let you in on a little secret here. I am at this stage in my life, just turned 19, and there is a cute, like, anime-liking, goth-looking girl that says, hey, come by and we'll hang out. I'm going to do that. Like, I don't get the world. I don't get a lot of things, but I do know that that's better than just hanging out in this cheap motel room that I don't want to be in, reading the Dragon Ball manga. Decidedly Pat is a type. I fucking definitely have a type, and that type is like anything that I like. That's my type. She could have been the preppiest girl in the world. She could have been nondescript. She could have worn a shirt that says, I make poor decisions. She could have been wearing a Big Dog t-shirt. Well, you tell me that you like Dragon Ball and Inuyasha, and I'm at least going to go see what's up. Reminding myself where that Six Flags is, there still isn't anything else around there. Yeah, Mr. Bob, there is not. The Anaheim is barely a place, so I'm outside of it, just barely outside of it. So we go and we hang out, and it's nice. We get a chance to kind of chat with each other, and I like talk to each other a little bit. And I'm saying how the next day I'm gonna I'm probably gonna like go to the train station. I'll call for a cab and go to figure out the bus or the train. I'm gonna figure that out. I'm gonna go to the bus station, which is also the train station. Figure that out and go back. She's like, didn't you just like get here? And I was like, yeah, but my car died. So it was a junk car, but I don't have enough to get I don't want to spend my vacation money, my road trip money on a car. So yeah, I guess I'm done. And she's like, just hang out. I was like, I don't want to just hang out in this motel. She's just like, I don't know. Let me ask my uncle. So the next day, I become the assistant groundskeeper at a motel outside of Anaheim, Massachusetts, with the express purpose of my pay being free dinner, home-cooked dinner, and I do not have to pay for my motel room, including the night before. For quote-unquote, I don't know, a while. It's a handshake deal. And I'm like, this is my vacation before I go to college. And we are going to continue this story in a moment or two. I will tell you, there is no great giant lesson. There is no great thing with this story. It does not go incredible places. There's a couple cool little twists and turns, and one that I'm sure you're probably guessing. But we're going to talk about that after we take our pause for the cause, because it's important to take a pause for the cause. First and foremost, hello, welcome. This is the Build with Baer workshop. If you're new here, hit that notification or hit that follow button. Turn your notifications on so you know when I go live. I stream Mondays and Thursdays and Saturdays, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern, a 2-hour build stream. I do a bonus stream a week. Next bonus stream is on Tuesday. If you're currently a subscriber, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe emote into chat. If you gift a sub, if you renew a subscription, if you start a new sub, if you donate 300 bits and coins, you share pride emotes with the chat. And that's a really nice thing because it's Pride right now. So you can do that if that's something you like to do. Bits and coins are always appreciated. Gifting subs are always appreciated. Renewing your subs and hitting that notification so we know is always appreciated. There are a couple ways you can support the channel. We'll run through that really quickly and then we'll get back to building. As I said, you can do this. I also have a Patreon you could join. Patreon, $1, $3, $5, $10. There are various levels you can join if you're so interested in. Join my Patreon. That did not. Oh, I didn't hit the exclamation point. That's why. If you're watching this on YouTube after the fact, all these links are in the show description. If you're watching the VOD, just check out the chat. It's all in there. Those are ways to support what I'm doing. You can also support financially if you'd like. You're in no obligation to. But if you want me to buy kits, you can donate, and I will use that to buy kits and equipment to continue the building process through my Coffee, Streamlabs, and PayPal. Those are ways to support the channel if you'd like to. USA Gundam Store. You can buy a gift card there. You go into USA Gundam Store, you enter your information, and you get gift card codes, and then you can whisper them to me on Twitch or send me a DM on Twitter because my DMs are open, and that's a way to support the channel if you wanted to. Because I also have an Amazon wish list, but I understand that some people don't want to use Amazon. I will also say that I'm going to be using USA Gundam Store probably for pre-order stuff, but again, no obligation to do that. But if you'd like to, if you want to buy anything on my Amazon wish list, it will be going to South Carolina. So even if you buy something that has 2 days Prime shipping, it's going to South Carolina. And I will build it there. But I got a bunch of stuff there on the list of things that I would build if you purchased it. You know, it'll jump the queue of whatever I've got going on here. And yeah, that's another way to support the channel if you'd like to. I have a Discord. Feel free to join my Discord. We'll get into back to we're going to do anime talk. You know, we're going to do story time. We'll finish off the story and then we'll do anime talk because the story doesn't have much left to it. But we'll get to that in a second. So we do that. What do I got here? Oh, some videos to watch. My last Pat Bear's Anime Club is about some queer anime you can watch to celebrate Pride. These are all shows you can watch streaming. I'll have a new Pat Bear's Anime Club out on Monday, so you can check that out. And then I have, let's see, oh yeah, I have Baering the List. So it's already out of date, but I made a Baering the List video where I ranked all of the ring gear, the 4 different types of ring gear that Orange Cassidy has in AEW. And then I put that up, and then like an hour later, he wore a different piece of gear. He's got a new piece of gear that he wore specifically for a bit, but it was only probably a one-time thing. So I'm going to correct that. Don't worry about it. My next video, I'm going to write this wrong. But that happened, and I can't do anything about it. But yeah, those are videos you can watch. I do a Baering the List every week. I do Pat Bear's Anime Club every other week because I think I would run out of ideas. We will talk about anime in a moment or two, but let's get back to the story. We're going to work on this hand here, and we'll like put together this hand, which this is the era where they just give you a bunch of tiny little pieces and tell you to make a hand, and I don't enjoy it, but we'll do it now. Oh yeah, we'll put this down here. Okay, so where was it? All right, so the uncle is like, you could stay here if you want to help me and do some stuff. You know, mowing. We got to do some mowing. We got to do some maintenance on some stuff. I always need help with the ice machines. You don't have to clean any rooms, but just help me with some maintenance. You can stay for free. You get one meal a day. Do it for a little while. I was not the first. I was definitely not the last person this deal was offered to. I'm sure I also was not the last person that got this deal specifically to keep his niece from going stir crazy, because she worked in the at the Barnes and Noble part time 3 days a week, and then she worked for her uncle across the street where she lived at the motel. And I think this young lady needed, she was about my age. I think she was 17, 18. I was almost about to turn 19 at the time. So we were around the same age. Definitely she was a legal adult, and I'll make that point very clear because it's important. But yeah, we were chatting things up, and it was fine. So first day, I call home, and say like, hey, I'm gonna hang out in Anaheim for a bit, and my parents are like, what? And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna hang out in Anaheim. I'm like gonna go to Six Flags, and they're like, okay, all right, well, all right, let us know, because my parents don't love this whole plan of mine anyway. They do not enjoy this like weird road trip thing I'm doing, but like my mom went to Europe before college, and my dad drove a motorcycle cross country multiple times. So like, if they didn't like it, they shouldn't have told me they did basically what I was doing with even less technology at the time to like keep in touch with people. So anyway, I'm hanging out and it's fun. Uh, I do some work during the day. I do some maintenance stuff. It's grueling, but it's fine. Um, I uh, I'm hanging out at night. I'm having dinner. We wait until she gets off work. We have dinner. Um, we hang out in the lobby, uh, and then 2 nights later, she's like, "Hey, let's go to the movies." She has a car, because I'm like, I do not have a car. So she's like, "Let's go to the movies." Like, okay, we'll go to the movies. So we get ready uh, to figure stuff up, and we're like getting ready to go, and then we get to the movies, and somebody knows this. Now I'll admit here, I'm not falling in love with this girl by any means, but I am interested. But she is the reason that I have not gone back to Connecticut to do nothing for the summer. So while I am not in love with her or falling for her, I am probably infatuated with her. And I am certainly interested in seeing what's going on, and I'm excited about having a weird adventure. And you can probably guess that we meet up with her boyfriend at the movies. And they proceed to make out and fucking, you know, fondle each other for the 2 hours that we are watching. I do not remember what movie it was. This was 1999. I cannot tell you the movie. It was not something I picked. I basically went out to the lobby and played Area 51 until the movie was over, because I did not want to sit next to them make out. But this was not, I was not surprised. Look, here's the thing. I was not surprised. As I said, definitely not in love with this girl, but certainly infatuated with this girl. Uh, and they're doing their thing, and we have this moment, me and this dude, We have a moment where we're like hanging out and he's smoking a cigarette. I'm not smoking a cigarette. I smoked for a bit in high school. At that point, I had stopped. Um, he's smoking a cigarette. I'm hanging out. We're talking about some bullshit. Uh, and then he just kind of goes, she does this a lot, right? And I'm like, and I just go, I'm a puppy dog, huh? And he's like, what? I'm like a stray dog that she like took in for a while, but like she's not adopting me. I'm not moving here. I'm not staying here. This is like a temporary thing. He's like, yeah, cool, as long as we understand each other. And I'm like, oh, was this the hey? My girlfriend likes to like hang out with random dudes, but she's still my girlfriend. Like he was expecting to be threatening me at this point, and I was like, didn't let him because I wasn't a threat. This has happened to me several times in my life where people assume that because I'm 5'10" and hundreds of pounds that I am a nerd that like is going to get in your face about stuff. And I need you all know this. That is not the case. If anything, I am the guy that's just like, well, I'm going to get out of this situation. Fuck this. I don't need this in my life at all. So I do that. So I'm like, yeah, sure, okay, cool. We're cool, no problem. Uh, and I'm genuinely okay with it, right? Like I don't care. Um, and then a very heavy door to a ice machine fell on the uncle, and I got fired the next morning. That's the unceremonious end. I got fired the next morning because I dropped a very heavy thing on his foot. And he was, I think, okay, but just kind of mad. And he was like, all right, tonight's the last night. And I was like, yeah, okay, sure. Uh, and so I finished up that day of working, and we hung out. And we're sitting in my motel room. She had never come by the motel room. We go by the motel room because she knows the next day I'm gonna get a ride to the. I'm either the next day gonna go to Six Flags, or I'm gonna go. This is like day 5, or I'm gonna go back to Connecticut. Most likely, I'm gonna go back to Connecticut. So she's like, okay, well, let's hang out in your room. And I'm like, okay. Now, I cannot tell you if she thinks that I am going to try to have sex with her, or if she thinks we are going to have sex. I can tell you that we did nothing. I can tell you that she got mad and left at a certain point uh, because I was not interested. I do not know if that was her intention. I do not know if she was just waiting for me to make a move so she could reject me. I do not know. I cannot tell you what her thoughts were. I can only tell you that at this point, I just wanted to go home because I had a wacky adventure, and I got my stuff in, and I was definitely ready to go home. So she left. The next day, I'm getting ready to go. I check out. I pay for the first night because apparently that deal did not include the first night, which is fine. I still had a bunch of nights for free for limited fucking work, really, honestly. I didn't do that much. It was mostly to keep her occupied, I think. Um, and, do the handshake, everything's good. And there on the counter, because she is not at work, and I don't know where she is, but there on the counter are the next 2 graphic novels in Dragon Ball Z that I needed from the one I had bought when I met her. And I was like, kind of touched by that. That was a nice, sweet gesture on her part. Uh, so I grabbed those and I call a cab and I get a ride to a bus station, which takes me to a train station, which takes me into which takes a long, long time to get to Hartford, Connecticut, and then I call my folks to see if they'll come pick me up in Hartford, and they do, um, which was not necessarily near anything, but whatever. Um, and I don't think about any of it. I don't think about her. I don't think about the time I spent there. Uh, it doesn't. It doesn't. It's not a thing that comes to me. Except uh, about 3 weeks later, I get a call from a guy that says, "Hey, we still have your car. Do you want it?" And I did not. And that is my summer adventure in Massachusetts. Uh, I ended up working at a pizza place for about 4 weeks and then took time and then went to college. That was the rest of my summer. It was a good little job. I folded more pizza boxes than I ever have in the rest of my life ever combined. But yeah, that's my story. It was a good, weird, bad time, and I'm happy that I did it. Um, yeah, I totally fucking forgot about that car. Let's see. Yeah, that's my story. Um, I have very few road trip stories, but that is one of them that will always stick with me as being a real good time. Let's see. I'm going to talk about some anime. Uh, I like this story as weird as well, so I appreciate that decidedly. Yeah, it is a weird little story. Um, but I'm going to talk about some anime, y'all. Um, my next life is a villainess. All routes lead to doom. Wrapped up. Uh, we had episode 12 of the series, and while I don't think it necessarily was a great end to the show, I think the show as a whole was really strong. I think I think other episodes were certainly stronger than this episode. I think that like it set itself up for season two, and it's been announced there will be a second season next year. It makes sense because they basically like it ends with her being like the next chapter hasn't been written in the game. There is no game for the next, what comes next. So, which is kind of fun. It's her being like the adventure thing. Finding out about the villain, the president character, and why he did what he did was like pretty cliche. And I kind of would have preferred if he had just been an asshole instead of like the magic bullshit that was going on with that. I didn't love that, but but overall, I thought it was pretty strong. There's a moment in the last episode that I really like where she's going through all the possibilities and she's like, well, there is the harem route, but I get murdered in that one. So I hope it's not Maria's harem route. And then she has a moment where she's like, Maria, do you like someone? And Maria's basically just like, I want to be with you forever. She's like, that's not what I asked. And it's like, it is what you asked, you dummy, Catriona. And then there's a moment where she's like, well, no one wants to kill me, and no one's hooking up with anyone. I know what this is. It's the friend ending. It's not great if you want a romance, but it is great because everyone's okay and no one's gonna kill me. And it's like, no, 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 that's not what we're doing here. That's not what's going on. Oh, you're so silly. So I do appreciate that she doesn't recognize the fact that she is in a harem and has all these characters in love with her, and this is the best ending possible. And I thought that was fun. And yeah, we're setting up for the next season. I think that'll be pretty cool. Uh, get to see some other characters kind of hanging out and enjoying themselves. Overall, it's a really good story. I think it's an interesting take on the isekai genre. I think it handles itself pretty well, both as an isekai and as a romance series. I think it's good. It's not my favorite show. It is one of the best shows of the season, and that's, I mean, the season is rough because there's just so few shows. But yeah, overall it was good. Um, Kaguya-sama, Love is War. This was a weird episode because it was the culmination of a bunch of story stuff for a minor major character, like a sporting character, and the whole episode was about him. We finally found out what's going on with our dude, and what story had happened, his own version of justice he couldn't let go of, and uh, and how he like threw a lot of stuff away in order to try to help somebody and just really fucked up, and why this is such a moody, weird dude. And obviously he's the butt of a lot of jokes and he gets beat up and it's funny. But yeah, they gave some pathos to a character that I didn't think would ever see pathos. And I thought that was kind of interesting. This is episode 11. It is a little rough because it was like not about the relationship, and the episodes that aren't about the relationships usually aren't my favorite unless they have Chica in them because she's the best character. Um, so since we didn't have that, it was like, oh, they're just like giving like a good, satisfactory, interesting ending to like a weird character who doesn't like get a lot of respect in the show. It's odd. It was episode 11 because the season started a little late, so it was odd to have that come up. I don't know. I'm of two minds of it, honestly. I think it was like a good episode, but it isn't the stuff I come to this show for. Although I do think it was handled well. Uh, I don't know. But we got to see some personal growth from a character, and that's fun. It's always fun. And then I picked a random anime, y'all, because that's important to me, is to pick a random anime to talk about, because otherwise I was only going to talk about the two shows that I watched. So I hit random on Crunchyroll a bunch, and I got a bunch of stuff I've seen before and some stuff that I wasn't interested in checking out. And then I came across Rail Wars, which I have the information for, so I'll talk to you about that. This show came out in 2014. It is based on a manga. It is a harem-ish show with a lot of characters, a lot of female characters, and some of them are very interested in our main character, some are somewhat interested in our main character. The basic premise is we got this dude. This dude he fucking loves trains. He doesn't love fucking them. He fucking loves them. He's super into trains. He always has been. And he wants to work for this rail company, which this is a future where apparently in Japan, the rail system privatized, but it used to be owned by the government. And so in this world, in this version of Japan, it's still owned by the government. So he wants that cushy driver job. It's a government gig. He gets to see trains, to hang out with trains, and use his vast knowledge of trains. But it's a pretty easy job. So that's the job he's looking for. He ends up becoming a security person to like guard the rails, and he's not thrilled about that. And then because he's so good at being an organizer, he becomes in charge of it. And so he's got a bunch of wacky characters that he's with that are like helping him out and getting into trouble and doing their thing. And I watched like 3 episodes of it, and it's fine. He uses vast knowledge of being a lover of trains to solve issues and deal with stuff. There is one character who was raised by her dad, who is a cop, and she treats everything like she's a police officer. And I'm sure in 2014 I would have thought that annoying, and in 2020 it is not fun at all. It is a character that I'm like, I do not want this person around. Get out of here. But it's like a romantic comedy ish thing. There's some action, but not really. It's not about the action. It's mostly about the characters interacting with each other. I watched 3 episodes of it. It's called Rail Rail Wars. Because also there's a somewhat terrorist style organization of protesters that want the rail company to be privatized. I do not know why. I do not understand what's going on there, but they're part of the war. Gotta say, when you said you watched a train anime and made me hopeful Crunchyroll had licensed, no. Uh, no, not that kind of train anime last week. And I do have to make it clear, it's an anime about a guy that loves trains. It's not an anime about anthropomorphized trains that or young girls that have parts of trains or any of that kind of show. It's not that kind of thing. It's just a show about a dude that likes trains a lot, that gets a job working um, promotional anime. Oh yeah, no. There's not a. This isn't about trains that turn into robots and fight. This is a train about thing about cute girls that are also trains for some reason. It's nothing like that. This is just a show about a dude who what likes trains a lot and tries to deal with that. Uh, that's all this is. It was fine. I don't expect to watch more episodes of it. It's only 12 episodes. So I could watch more. I might watch more. I probably won't watch more. Because, like I said, it was just perfectly fine, but, like, not. It didn't do anything for me. Didn't get my engine going. But I am trying to hit the random button and seeing things. I'm also going to try to use Funimation's uh, for Monday, for tomorrow. I am going to try to use Funimation's like recommended thing to like find something to watch. I believe Sachibato will have a new episode because they did tomorrow because they did not have an episode last Sunday. And then I've heard, I don't know if it's going to be true, that that the Klyklos, that weird anime that's only like 5 minutes, I've heard that's coming back on the 22nd. But that's also only a 5 minute show, so I'll still need more to talk about on Monday. So I'm going to try to find something else to chat with you all about. But yeah, I hear that the Sachibato will have its next episode because it was supposed to be the finale, I think, this week, but I think we'll get episode 11 because they postponed episode 11. It happens, y'all. All right, this gives me problems for some reason. Yeah, we're here. We're at the point now where like shows are wrapping up, and there's a few things that are starting in July, but a lot of the stuff that I want to watch is actually coming out later in July, and then also nobody knows when because nobody really knows when all this new stuff is coming back. So like we're 12 days away from Fire Force season 2. That's the thing I want to watch. We're 19 days away from Uzaki-chan Wants to Hang Out, which you're not going to like. I don't even know if I'm going to like, but I'm going to check it out because it's fun. It's a guy who wants to like have a quiet high school life, but his childhood friend wants to hang out all the time. And she's like maybe into him or maybe just clueless, but definitely like it's an ecchi show and it knows it. And I know that right ahead, so that sounds fun. Uh, there's that God of Destruction, the high school show where there's the demon lord has been reborn and has to go back through high school. That seems pretty fun. Peter Grill doesn't sound good. I won't check that out. But yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that's like coming out that I'm like, oh, check these out. We don't know when other things are going to come back. But yeah, I guess Extra Olympia Calculus is coming back, they announced. I just want to know when Gallon Dino comes back, because I want to watch more Gallon Dino. Gallon Dino rules, and I would love to see more of that show. I don't know when I'm going to get it. Hopefully there'll be a big thing. And as always, I should say this, because people like sometimes like to jump to getting mad, and I understand. I'm like that too. Um, when I say like I want these things to come back, it means safely. It means like that people are safe and taken care of and in a good position to in order to do the work that that they're doing, and not like endangering themselves. I care much more about the lives of people than I do the anime I want to watch. Sorry, while I'm saying all this, I did drop a piece. I'll be back in a second. I'm gonna hit be right back and get what I need, but I can keep my mic on while I go do it. See where it is. One of the problems with working in a room that's empty like this is that when I drop something, they have a tendency to scatter across the floor, and that is annoying. All right, now I'll come back here. But yeah, I mean, I want these anime shows to come back because I want to watch the shows I like, especially like a show like back here, like Gallon Dino, which is just a rad ass show, or a show like Days of Our Breakwater, Diary of Our Days at the Breakwater. It's such a bad name. That's a show that I was just starting to figure out was just hitting its stride. He kind of had a rough episode, but the next couple were really good, and so I'd really like to see where that show goes. But you can't if it doesn't have any more episodes come out. So, but again, I much prefer that the folks that are making these have the chance of being safe while they make them. But yeah, I'll keep my eyes peeled about new shows. Also, I think probably for this Thursday, I will watch and get caught up on Ascendance of Bookworm, because as you may remember, I think Ascendance of Bookworm hit its last episode for the season. I have to check, but I don't like watching that week to week, so I thought I would, but I know I prefer to just watch it all at once. Okay, why won't this? Let me just make sure that I have I4, that these are the right pieces. This is I14 and I16. Did I take out both I14s and both I16s? Yes, I did. Okay. This piece didn't really want to go on that easy, so maybe that's why it's not working again. But yeah, I might get caught up on that. So yeah, I'm gonna hit the random button again for Monday, so I have more anime to talk to y'all about. That's the plan, anyway. All right. What the? Sorry. This should not take as long as it is taking. It's just like this. Looks like this. And then this just clips on. There. Alright, got it. Weird. That was odd. Someone just setting off a lot of fireworks right now, so I apologize if you're hearing them. It is just the 20th. It is not, there's no reason for all these fireworks to go off. And obviously, that's where it ends as far as me, Pat Baer, goes. It's just me being annoyed. I'm not going to be like, I'm not going to even call 311. Like, I'm not a stooge. But I am genuinely frustrated with with fireworks going off just on a Saturday night. Like, stop it. Get that shit out of here. Fucking come on. Anyway, we got some time left on the stream. If there's anything y'all want to chat about, you let me know. I apologize that I don't, like I said, right now my priority is moving and moving related activities. and I don't have a lot of life stuff going on. Like I'll probably have more to talk about when it comes to the move, but like not a lot more to talk about. So if there's anything y'all want to chat about, you let me know and we'll chat about it. But that's about it. I can't imagine going to the movie theaters. Like I just can't. I'm also not a person that generally goes to the movie theaters all the time. So like that's part of why I'm like, what? Because that's not my go-to. Like so the big things that aren't gonna look great. I understand. Big experiences, but like small experiences, like nah, I'm good. Can't imagine. So yeah, I'm talking to people about that, and I have friends who love movies. They love going to the movies. That is a huge portion of their life is going to the movies, and I'm just like, yeah, well, that's over for me. I got no interest in that. I don't know. Okay, put this on here. All right. And then we got some stickers to put on after we put on some little accent pieces here. B16 and B17, or B17 and 8. Let's see. We need 17 and 18 on this one. Looks like we're going to get the whole top half done here for the end of the stream, which is cool. I like that. I don't have any more road trip stories. I wish I had like another road trip story to complement the Boston one. I don't have anything exciting. The first time I ever bought a video game magazine on my own was I bought a Game Pro that had fatalities in it for Mortal Kombat 2 because I was staying at a little like resort type place. They had an arcade and they had a Mortal Kombat 2 machine. This was a young person, obviously, and so I bought a magazine in order to get better at the game, and I did not. Game Pro RIP. Yeah, I bought a magazine specifically to get better at the game, and other people borrowed it, and I was there as a resource. Which as you know, for me, that's me at my happiest is when I can be useful and share my vast knowledge with others. I was very happy to share the love and the knowledge with other people. I remember the dude that I was friendly with on that trip really bummed me out because he didn't tell me that he was leaving because people would stay for like a week and we were staying there I think for like 4 or 5 days and he was just some dude that I met at the arcade. We like knew each other's room numbers and so we were like hanging out a little bit and there was like some activities for kids or teens and so we like hung out with them and did that like a couple nights of just like, yeah, there's gonna be a pizza party, bring $5 and we're gonna play card games and whatever because the arcade closes at this time so we'll leave that and it was like fine. And I vividly remember that like my experience with that weekend that week was buying a Game Pro magazine that happened to have Mortal Kombat 2 codes in it, uh, playing Mortal Kombat 2 and never getting good at it, and this dude who I was hanging out with, like, not telling me that that was his last night when it was the last night. And he just, next day, wasn't there at the arcade, and I called his room, wasn't there, and I was like, oh, he must have left. You gotta fucking tell me that, dude. We didn't mean anything to each other. Didn't we mean something? Didn't we have a connection? Guy? I remember that really bummed me out. Alright, I'm not going to put those stickers on. Fuck it. Alright, let's get these shoulder pieces connected here and then on. But yeah, I didn't really buy a lot of gaming magazines because I played games, but I wasn't like obsessed with the new stuff. I did have the benefit of having friends who really cared about all of that, and they would get new stuff, and then especially my friend Chris, who now works for Kotaku, but growing up, Chris like always just got whatever was coming out because he was doing like reviews for a couple like magazines or sites or like An America had a U.S. branch magazine for a brief minute, and Chris wrote some articles for that and was doing like independent stuff for various like some websites and stuff like that. So he would keep up on games. I bought gaming magazines before I had video games. Yeah, no, I just never bought them because like my friends were my connection to what games were coming out and what games were good and what I should be playing. Like my buddy Matt had like the Dreamcast and the games to play on the Dreamcast. And then eventually I got one cheap, but like I never had a plan to get a Dreamcast. I just knew that I would play his. And then eventually, I would get systems of my own, and then eventually I would get a PC that did that. But my family was weirdly against them, but eventually caved, and I got a SNES one Christmas. Yeah, I mean, some people just didn't want to. Like, my mom was fine with me getting things. She just, like consoles, she just wanted me to use them. Um, and so if I wasn't going to use a system, I wasn't going to get one. Oh, I did want to point out a thing that I really like about this kit is, so you see there's nothing on the back here. There's nothing on the back because this is where we are going to be putting in the core fighter, which is basically the cockpit. It's a vehicle that pops in. That's where the X is. But there's still access to this front cockpit, and I just think that's really funny that, like the skull lifts up and then you can get at them. I just think that's neat. But anyway, we are done with um, the upper part of our kit. We're going to work on the waist. We have the waist to do. We have leg day to do. We have the core fighter to build. As you can see, there's a vehicle that then opens up. The X opens up, and that's the X. We've got the weapons to build, including the saber, which I just love so much. That thing is so great. And also, I love that it has what appears to be some sort of like revolver. It's a weird weapon. And then we'll have to put the cape on, y'all. We're going to have to put the cape on there. And that'll be cool. Oh, yeah, also he has a dagger. He's got a dagger. Don't worry about it. And yeah, then we'll build that cape at some point. Which I think we have to cut. Like cut parts of it and roll it. I don't know. I don't know how this works. I might investigate how the cape goes on. See if I can find somebody that made a YouTube video or something. But yeah, that's going to do it. I'm going to take a photo of this. But I'm not going to start the waist until Monday stream. Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern. Now, as you know, we are not done here with this. I got to take a photo here. We are going to go ahead and raid somebody because that's what we do here. We do raids. Spread the love, share the love, and maybe you'll find a new streamer that you like, or just check out somebody you already know who is cool, who streams later in the night than I do. But that's the plan, so we will go and find somebody to go do that, and we hit the desktop mute. But yeah, my next build stream will be on Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Reminder that Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern is I will be playing Jackbox games with guests already confirmed. Will be Felix Kramer and Corey Dickinson from Loading Ready Run. And then also other people who I don't know yet. Casey Malone should be making an appearance, but he didn't seem like necessarily going to be there the whole time. Um, I will say that at 12:30 a.m. Eastern Time, Kathleen from Loading Ready Run does her unarchived music stream, late night Saturday night music stream that you should check out. Um, but we're gonna go and we're gonna go raid Matt Wiggins, who's just a good dude who's playing Horizon Zero Dawn, uh, and we'll go see Matt, and then good night and thank you, Pat. Well, thank you, Harold. Thank you very much for those the gift cards. That's very kind of you. I appreciate that very much. But yeah, we're gonna go give Matt a raid, um, and check him out. So feel free to come along. If you don't feel like coming along, come check out another stream another time. I got it set on Monday and Tuesday, and then Thursday and Saturday, normal streams as usual. Um, but yeah, thanks so much, and we'll go do the whole raid thing now. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.